up all night, bringing to the earth precious rain and burning trees or villages. There is lightning and thunder, and they are the brightest and most powerful that will not vanish. They are coming back, and I recognize them among the thousands. Question: for you, science or poetry is the same? Tesla: these are the two eyes of one person. William Blake was taught that the universe was born from the imagination, that it maintains and it will exist as long as there is one last man on Earth. With it was the wheel to which astronomers can collect the stars of all the galaxies. It is the creative energy identical to the light energy, as long as there is one last man on Earth. Imagination is more real to you than life itself. Tesla: it gives birth to life. I have fed by my thought. I've learned to control emotions, dreams, and visions. I have always cherished as I nurtured my enthusiasm. All my long life I spent in ecstasy. That was the source of my happiness. It helped me during all these years to bear with work, which was enough for the 5 lives. The best is to work at night, because the stellar light in close bond. Question: you said that I am, like every being, the light. This flatters me, but I confess I do not quite understand. Tesla: why would you need to understand, Mr. Smith? Suffice it to believe it. Everything is light. In one its ray is the fate of nations. Each nation has its own ray in what great light source we see as the sun. And remember, no one who was there did not die. They transformed into the light, and as such exist still. The secret lies in the fact that the light particles restore their original state. Question: this is the resurrection? Tesla: I prefer to call it return to a previous energy. Christ and several others knew the secret. I am searching how to preserve human energy. In its forms of light, sometimes straight like heavenly light, I have not looked for it in my own sake. Quite, because the first feature of the energy is that it transforms. It is in perpetual transformation, as clouds of Taoists. But it is possible to leverage the fact that a man preserves consciousness after the earthly life. In every corner of the universe exists energy of life. One of them is immortality, whose origin is outside of man, waiting for him. The universe is spiritual. We are only half that way. The universe is more moral than us, because we do not know this nature and how to harmonize our lives with it. I am not scientist. Science is perhaps the most convenient way to find the answer to the question that always haunt me, and which my days and nights turned into fire. Question: what's the matter? Tesla: how are your eyes brightened? What I wanted to know is, what happens to a falling star as the sun goes out? Stars fall like dust or seed in this or in other worlds, and the sun be scattered in our minds, in the lives of many beings. What will be reborn as a new light, or a cosmic wind scattered in infinity? I understand that this is necessarily included in the structure of the universe. The thing is, though, is that one of these stars and one of these suns, even the smallest, preserves. Question: but Mr. Tesla, you realize that this is necessary and is included in the constitution of the world. Tesla: when a man becomes conscious that his highest goal must be to run for the shooting star and tries to capture it, shall understand that his life was given to him because of this and will be saved. Stars will eventually be capable to catch. Question: and what will happen then? Tesla: the Creator will laugh and say, it falls only that you chase her and grab her. Question: isn't all of this contrary to the cosmic pain, which so often you mention in your writings? And what is it, cosmic pain? Tesla: no, because we are on Earth. It is an illness whose existence the vast majority of people are not aware of. Hence, many other illnesses, suffering, evil, misery, wars, and everything else that makes human life an absurd and horrible condition. These diseases cannot be completely cured, but awareness shall make it less complicated and hazardous. Whenever one of my close and dear people were hurt, I felt physical pain. This is because our bodies are made of similar material and our soul related with unbreakable strands. Incomprehensible sadness that overwhelmed us at times means that somewhere on the other side of this planet, a child or a generous man died. The entire universe is in certain periods sick of itself and of us. Disappearance of a star and the appearance of comets affect us more than we can imagine. Relationships among the creatures on the earth are even stronger. Because of our feelings and thoughts, the flowers will scent even more beautiful or will fall into silence. These truths we must learn in order to be healed. Remedy is in our hearts and evenly in the heart of the animals that we call the universe. End of interview.
All right. I was listening to Tesla interview. Oh my goodness. It's not confusing why he was one of the most hated men on the planet. It still is. Imagine if you were an inventor and you basically created the whole damn world that all the billionaires use to make all the money, and they hate you so much that they remove you from every damn textbook on the education systems. They don't even want to talk about you. And you know, and the more that I go back and I try to read like some of the Tesla interviews and things he said, I understand it. I know why they hated that man. That man was like free the human race. That man was like Brother Hogo, which by the way, Hogo is out of prison. Thank you, sir, for your efforts. Brother Hogo's over there. Yellow Vest, American and the French Yellow Vest movement, got arrested, did his thing. You know what he said? That's why I love, you gotta love humility. He was like, you know what, I was over there being stupid. Oh, and, well, appreciate Brother Walton also for letting us know. He said, I was over there being stupid, and I just said, you know what? Imagine the righteousness of being stupid, fighting for freedom, over being smart, fighting for more enslavement to representative government. That's a brother that he didn't earn his stripes, as they say. He didn't earn it, he's out there fighting. He's doing the real thing. Woo, appreciate his effort. Appreciate you, brother. Glad you're out. Unfortunately, I think he got 5 years probation, something like that, just for showing up in the streets of the bourgeoisie. Just for showing up in the damn streets. Open air prison. Open air prison. Every Rothschild nation is in open air prison. All because we don't Tesla more. You understand what I'm saying when I say Tesla more? Tesla fought for everybody. Tesla wasn't out for himself. He was out for everybody. Be out for everybody, you will be hated. You will be something significant. You're out for yourself, you're out for your race, out for your religion, out for your nation. You're useless as a bag of bricks and rocks wet on a Sunday, which I don't even know what the hell that means. I made it all up. So I appreciate the brother. Good work. They arrested Brother John, he got out. That's what we have to do. We have to Tesla more. We have to draw the hate of the elite more. We have to draw the hate of the cabals. We have to draw the hate of the bourgeoisie. If you are drawing their loving compassion, you're useless. I'm sorry, you're useless. We love you to death, but you're useless. Draw their hate. There go Hugo. There you go right there, Hugo. There you go. There's our superhero right there. All right, I'll be fine. No worries. I know you will be, brother. I know you will. One of our heroes fighting for the ability for people to actually control their government. You're going to be one of the hated men like Tesla, fighting for everybody. He's over there fighting for me. Like, well, what does that got to do with me in Alabama, Tupelo, Mississippi? You understand? A free human anywhere is inspiration to a free human everywhere. We got to get rid of this representative form of nonsense. I just don't get it. I don't get it, Brother John. I don't get it. I have no idea why people don't want to make their own damn decisions. They want to keep voting for representatives to represent them, and they're grown damn adults. I have no idea why. But the whole world is in revolt, they say. The whole world is in revolt, not in America. Oh, hell no. No, but we got to spend the money. We got to spend the money they're looting from around the world. We got to fight each other. I posted something last night. I was hoping I got somebody upset. I'm always trying to stir the Kool-Aid. I know. Sometimes I stir the Kool-Aid and I back out like, oh, I didn't mean stir the Kool-Aid. Did I stir the Kool-Aid? I'm sorry. Oh, I got to go to this. I do have to find this post. I think this was important. Oh, Vax Part 2 is coming out, by the way. Vax Part 2. Vax Part 2 is coming out, and I believe in it. I believe everybody should watch it. Vax 1 was off the hook. You gotta watch Vax 2. Corporations and Rockefellers and Rothschilds should not run the damn planet. You can't force anybody to put anything in their own veins. I was talking about sellouts last night. I don't know, it was middle of the night. This sellouts kind of came to mind. Is this it? Yeah, right here. You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. But I like to post things that people don't like. Ooh, you know, that's part of the reason why I think I got banned on Facebook. I like to post things people don't like. I missed the angry face. That's the only thing I missed. Somebody asked the other day, did you miss going on Facebook Live? Nope, not me. Not at all. Facebook don't have anything that I want. I love them to death, but you know, that's the NATO, what do they call it? Global Alliance? Yeah, that's NATO. Those are killers and murderers and thieves. No. Bunnies and kittens and pro-war. That's all that's allowed. The West was built on colonization and slavery by those who just knew a generation would finally come to sell out all the ancestors, sell out the Germanic tribes, sell out the African tribes, sell out the Irish tribes, sell out the British tribes, sell out the Latin American tribes. Because we some sellouts, y'all. We some sellouts. Let's not even lie. We some sellouts. We the sellout generation. We're the generation the cabal hoped for. We're the ones that they've been waiting for. I know. I thank you, Lord. I got my angry face. There'll be all kind of angry faces right now. We're the ones they've been waiting for. The elite been waiting for us for a long time. The cabal couldn't wait till we got here. We just finally got to get a generation and fill them with Democrats and Republicans and just sell out all the ancestors. Because that's what they did. You take the children of the oppressed, you take the children of the genocided, you take the children of the raped, murdered, and enslaved, and eventually they're gonna like that Prius. They're gonna like small electronics. They're gonna love the cotton eventually. They're gonna love the rubber plant. They're gonna love it. They're gonna fight for their slavery. So anyway, we switch to music. So I appreciate Brother John. I'm glad Brother John is out of prison. We need to Tesla more. We need to Tesla more. We need to Tesla more. Tesla, when you listen to what this man talked about, oh my goodness. I have to post this interview. Oh my goodness. The brother, he was just on in so many places. Like he just, boom. That's all I can say. Just, boom. The stuff that came out of that man's mouth. He was an alien. I don't know what y'all believe. That dude was not human. He was not. He was talking about light and consciousness and Christ and everything is light and Christ knew, now he know, and he's in tap with something and everything is energy and give everybody energy, free the planet, free the human race. Oh, they hated that man. They hated that man. They didn't have nothing to do with that guy. Talked about water. Oh, he talked about everything. Everything. Did you see his quote? You ever see his quote on, he says there are fallen angels on earth. You know, the first time I heard that, you know what I was thinking? Because you know how they say beliefs entangle with your intellect the way identity does. And it kind of breaks you, messes you up. When he said there are fallen angels on earth, you know, I first went to aliens. I was like, it's aliens. I know, because my friend says aliens everywhere. You just can't see them. They're observing us and we're their entertainment system. That's not what he meant. That is not what he meant at all. You have to go back and listen. I'll post the interview. You know what he was talking about? There are fallen angels on earth. You know what he was talking about? I bet you don't know. I bet you don't know. I'm a quiz y'all. What was Tesla talking? Who was Tesla talking about when he said there are many fallen angels on earth? I'm gonna wait for it. I know you don't know it. You ain't gonna know it. I know you ain't gonna know it because we go to aliens. I didn't know it. I know. Yeah, ain't how people do that to you. I think Saj Guru said the other day, he said, you know, don't mistake memory for intelligence. People learn something and they just pretend like they're intelligent, like, nah, he just remembered something. That's all. I'm just pretending. I had no idea what he said there were many fallen angels on earth. But before he mentioned that, he said that women were the greatest consumers of energy. Women. That because they are creators, I'm messing the quote up, but that because they are creators, they consume more light, more energy. Oh, goodness gracious. And our societies break them and children and the weak down. He was talking about artificial scarcity, and the fallen angels were the fact that we have people of light, some consume more light, children have immense creativity, and they fail. They are failed by our nations. They are failed by artificial scarcity. They are killed, murdered, dropped in a hole. But that's what he was talking about. I had no idea. Blew my mind. To be part of the discussion. Oh, I was loving it. I was listening to Tesla. I was loving it. In fact, I'm gonna give him another minute. I gotta give him a minute. The same way I give Brother Jonathan a minute. I gotta give him a minute. I'm taking it back to right about here. Just listen to some of what he said. He says things quantum physics is just now figuring out. Music. Tesla is an amazing man. You got a Tesla.
Yes, it is often the result of a lack of exhaustion or vital force, but often the purification of mind and body from the toxins that have accumulated. It is necessary that a man suffers from time to time. The source of most disease is in the spirit. Therefore, the spirit and can cure most diseases. As a student, I got sick of cholera, which...
How did he know that? How did he know that the source of most disease is in the spirit? We know that now. The placebo and nocebo effect. He knew this way back then. This is why I listened to this man. I listened to him because he may not have been a man, but he was in tune with something that we are not today.
Raged in the region of Lyca. I was cured because my father finally allowed me to study technology, which was my life. Illusion for me was not a disease, but the mind's ability to penetrate beyond the three dimensions of the earth. I had them all my life, and I have received them as all other phenomena around us. Once in childhood, I was walking along the river with Uncle and said, "From the water will appear the trout. I'll throw a stone and it is cut." That's what happened. Frightened and amazed, his uncle cried, "Bade retro satana." He was as educated and he spoke in Latin. I was in Paris when I saw my mother's death. In the sky, full of light and music, floated in wonderful creatures. One of them had a mother's character who was looking at me with infinite love. As the vision disappeared, I knew that my mother had died. Question: what is the seventh adjustment, Mr. Tesla? Tesla: the knowledge of how the mental and vital energy transform into what we want and achieve control over all feelings. Hindus call it Kundalini Yoga. This knowledge can be learned. For what they need many years or is acquired by birth. The most of them I acquired by birth. They are in the closest connection with a sexual energy that is after the most widespread in the universe. The woman is the biggest thief of that energy, and thus the spiritual power. I've always knew that and was alerted. Of myself, I created what I wanted, a thoughtful and spiritual machine. Question: a ninth adjustment, Mr. Tesla? Tesla: do everything that any day, any moment if possible, not to forget who we are and why we are on earth. Extraordinary people who are struggling with illness, privation, or the society which hurts them with its stupidity, misunderstanding, persecution, and other problems which the country is full of, swamps with insects, leaves behind unclaimed until the end of the work. There are many fallen angels on earth. Question: what is the 10th?
I'm sorry. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. The things that he connected. He was talking about concepts that I've only now recently begun to embrace. This was freaking 80 years ago. The fallen angels on earth, those that are dropped in holes due to our artificial scarcity and the way we abuse people with society. Oh, gosh, Kundalini Yoga. He was talking about manifestation. It blows my mind. All right, I'm gonna read the comments, but it just blows my mind. It blows my mind that he was in tap with something that we just completely have no concept of nowadays. Not in the masses. We need to Tesla more. Let me ask you a question. If you invented a way for everybody to have free energy, would you give it for free, or would you try to get a patent and keep it to your damn self? Man tried to free the planet. We need the Tesla more. We need the Jonathan more, and we need the Tesla more. We need to put it out there for people who can't put it out there for themselves. Stop being sellouts. Stop selling out the ancestors and the people of today. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? What is today? Tuesday? Tuesday on a good slavery open air prison morning. I love to say that we are slaves. I love to say we're slaves because if you know what you are, you know where you gotta go. If you have no idea what you are, then you're gonna be happy with your representative governing. All right. Anyway, that was on Jonathan's post. Somebody said France is an open air prison. So is America. We are slaves to gravity. We're slaves to billionaires and banking and every Rothschild central banking system. Like all this, and it's not even about them. That's just a label, but it's about this idea of control, right? Human labor and force, giving them busy work to keep humans working. It's insanity. That takes me to another quote. It was Saj Guru gave me a quote this week. Gave me another quote this week. All kind of stuff was just going through my mind. Saj Guru, that brother's amazing. I don't know why y'all don't like him. Where is he at? Oh yeah, we're talking about water. We're talking about all kind of stuff. The fundamentals of government and religion. You can't have both. You can only have one or the other. You know that, right? Because man can't serve God and his master bank at the same time. Anytime you get state-sponsored religion, you have somebody's going to be the God. It's either going to be God, or it's going to be the fake God religion makes up, or it's going to be the government God. It's going to be one or the other. But anytime you have a state-sponsored, because the two are in opposition. The two have always been in opposition. I know you say, well, they always work together. No, they don't. One wins out. And whichever wins out, that's what runs everything else. Because they're both about power. It's like central banking. It's always about power. Somebody's going to win out, and the rest are going to be slaves to it. State-sponsored religion is just the state. That's all it is. That's all it is, baby. Where is this? I know Sag Guru. He said something this morning. They deleted already. Oh, here we go. Here we go, right here. Sag. Listen to Sag. This is all I do. I have a life. I listen to lectures and like people a lot smarter than I am. When every human being is doing what truly, truly matters to them, this is a beautiful world. And after that, he talked about how we get locked into so much ridiculousness and wasted time. Rubbish, he called it. Rubbish. He called your job rubbish. he said rubbish. When human beings are doing the things that they truly, truly, truly love, the things that really, really matter to them, people become beautiful people. People become beautiful things. When you force them to work and labor and slave away, they become monsters. That's what he's talking about. And this is what Tesla was talking about, freeing the human race. My brother Jonathan got arrested trying to free the human race and give their governments back to them. That's why Tesla was the most hated man on the planet. Always blaming women. Yeah, I know, Loco, I know it. But when he first said it, Loco, Coco, I know. I thought he was blaming women. He was saying women are the great thieves of light. And they have to be, because women make babies. How can you make more light unless you consume more light? Which is a beautiful thing. But he said the fallen angels on earth. That kind of blew me away. Which is why it's insane that anybody would continue to vote for a representative form of government that hates women. I have no, I don't understand, but this is what y'all want to do. Let me see, he was tapped into a source like Edgar Cayce. I think so, Stacy. So Edgar Cayce, Tesla, if you guys haven't studied them, you need to. You got to do your homework. You got to understand the great men. The great men are never in Washington. The great men are always murdered by Washington. The great men are never in Paris. They're always murdered by Paris. Okay, that's how that works, right? If Martin Luther King were alive today, he'd be a terrorist. The Democrats and Republicans would be trying to kill him at every turn. He'd be in prison, under the prison. They'd be doing anything they could. They'd have software on his laptop. They don't like this. Y'all don't like it when I talk like that, do you? You don't like it, huh? That your government is the criminal they are. I'm sorry, they are. They hate Harriet Tubman. She'd be a terrorist today. John Lennon, they already killed him. JFK, they killed him. Anybody who does anything for the people, your government kills. You know, that's what I'm saying. They were waiting for us. We were the ones they were waiting for. They were waiting for us. They were waiting for us to get here at Camel. Wait to get somebody. One day we're going to have a generation that sells all the ancestors out and sells everybody else out too. Votes for representative government. This is not an anti-voting thing, but it's becoming it. I don't know. That's what's getting in the way of everything. That's what's getting in the way of freeing the human race. So, let me see. I saw a Tesla vehicle in a parking garage, this AM in Pittsburgh. Did you, Sandra? Yo, they got the new version out, I think. You know, is that still the number one complaint about car on the road? It was like 5 years ago or something like that. That's what happens. But then again, that's Elon Musk, and that's not really Nikola Tesla. All right, his free energy idea was a second sun. Light would circle the equator like the rings around Saturn. Right, Susan, he was talking about that in that interview, right? Light is energy, we are light. The more light you have, the more vitamin D3 you get, the better your brain works. Ooh, speaking of that. So I did start looking into this, what do you call it? Monatomic gold, whatever. And I was listening to a few. There's something there. There is something there. There is something there. Because if we are energy and gold helps the transference of energy, they've been eating gold forever. I never knew this. Don't go home and melt the jewelry, you probably die. Certain type of gold, but they've been eating gold forever. They've been putting gold in cakes, the Egyptians, and further back than that. Now, how do the Egyptians know they're supposed to eat gold? Well, You could think it was like a cabal elitist pharaoh thing. It wasn't. Something told them. Somehow they knew that we are light creatures and that we can survive on this manna, this perfect form. But some of the reviews that I've seen, people are saying they feel pretty good about it. They're saying that they eat it and it feels like NZT. You know what NZT is? It's kind of like caffeine. They say when they actually take it, because you have edible forms now that companies make. I don't know if that's the real deal. The different types that they help thought. They said like it's like drinking coffee in the morning. It gives you like a boost. We are phenomenal creatures. We are all angels. We are all energy. We are spiritual creatures. And when we truly, truly do what matters and we're finally released from this evil enslavement of forced labor, beautiful things will happen on this planet. But we gotta stand up with the Tesla types and not with the ones that like to bury them underground. I still ain't watching the impeachment. I have no idea what's going on. And I hope it's going peachy for all your sides. I hope y'all are peachy because I really don't care. We got important work to do and it had nothing to do with who's in the office, White House or the president. And it was, I'm not gonna get into it. I think Hillary Clinton, she said somebody wanted death. She needed somebody had a death penalty. I didn't click on it. I got a pop-up. Hillary Clinton said, somebody has to have the death penalty. And I'm like, really? Really? Are you serious? Like Hillary Benghazi crime bill, super predator restart and slavery killing Gaddafi. Clinton actually said that somebody, after putting millions of minorities and poor whites in prison with the crime bill and the super predator nonsense, you mean that they're restarting slavery in Libya? You mean to tell me restarting, taking all women's rights from all over Africa? You mean to tell me that you think somebody should have that death penalty? Like, oh Lord have mercy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I know you voted for him, and I love you to death, but you know, I voted for criminals too. I voted for war criminals too. The only difference between me and you maybe sometimes is I can admit my mistakes. I apologize for every single time I pulled that lever in my life. I apologize. I never knew what that lever was doing. I never knew that lever turned me into some sort of a sellout, turning on my ancestors. And that was just the worst thing I could have ever done. Anyway, let me see. All the slaves to our specific craving and wanting and or loving heart and our highest principles. We should be a slave to that, Ron. Like, that's being a slave to humanity, right? That's being a slave to, I don't like the word slave. Better word for that, it's an understanding that you're a part of an ecosystem. We're a part of an ecosystem. We live or die by each other, which means that you don't get to kill anybody on my watch. Not for me, not for my sake. You don't get to rob anybody with politics or gangs or cabals or political parties. We're all a part. Everything that happens to somebody else happens to you. It might take a few years for it to come back, but everything that happens to somebody else happens to you. All right. We'll go look at the old. Let me see, we got any more comments here. Sharon, okay, I appreciate y'all sharing everything. Let me remind you, please. Somebody posted the other day, said I was sad that I wasn't live on Facebook. I'm not sad that I don't ever let people tell you that you're sad, because that's when you get suicided. No, I'm not sad. I don't care at all. When they let me, in fact, let me go over here and make sure that I'm not even promoting through Facebook and make sure that this is turned off. Sometimes it'll accidentally be turned on. All right, there we go. I have no interest at all. I told y'all a long time ago, this is not gonna last. It is not gonna last. Your ability for free speech on Facebook died the minute they said there was Russian collusion. That's when it died. This was temporary. The minute they said Russia used social media to collude or with Trump and modify the American election, Facebook was dead that day. That was the day free speech was dead. Because after that, you started the whole hate Russia racism, hate speech and all. And then we need to come down on Facebook. And Facebook, look, Mark Zuckerberg, like I said, I ain't got nothing wrong with the guy. He just wanted to make some money. He's like me, like everybody else. He wants to survive and thrive. But the minute you agreed that there's a such thing as hate speech and there is no such thing as hate speech. The minute you agreed with that, Facebook was done. Okay, they don't make the decisions there. The Global Alliance makes those decisions. That's why I told everybody this is temporary. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say vaccines are healthy, nutritious, and the science is settled. I'm not going to say that. That's called lying. I don't like to lie to people. I'm not going to tell you that war is good. War is always bad. It's always foul. I'm not going to tell you that you want to support the troops, listen to the politicians. I'm going to tell you want to support the troops, listen to the veterans. I'm not going to tell you it's a good idea to get out there and fight black people. I'm going to tell you that you need to grow the hell up and realize that you're a slave on a plantation. You need to be fighting a plantation, not some of the other slaves that you're upset with them because you think they got a bigger shot than you got. I'm not going to say that. So I know this is temporary. To be honest with you, I never expected it to go this long. I didn't think we'd be around this long. I thought they'd have shut the global, because they got a job to do. I ain't mad at the Global Alliance. They got a job to do. They try to make their money like everybody else. They're trying to survive like, listen, you need to be this, you need to be in this category, you need to be this label, you need to act like this, you need to pick a party, pick a politician and keep voting and cheer the war. You can talk about this war, you can't talk about that war. The veterans have no idea what's happening in war, only the politicians do. They already said that. So it was only temporary. Only temporary. So no, I'm not upset at all. I'm happy. I couldn't believe they let me do that for about 2 years. I was like, 2 years, they got the whole Russian racism going, made it popular, shut down Facebook and put Global Alliance as what they call them, the truth media, the truth ministry. They let us do that for 2-3. That's a blessing. Yeah, that's a blessing. You have to think about things in a positive way. Lord Jesus, we need to bless the Global Alliance. We need to thank the Global Alliance for letting us do it that long. It's like I had a father. My father died when he was 74, 75. I had my father 40-some years of my life. I'm not upset with that. That's a long time. I got a friend that only had his father till he was 13. I got friends that never even had father. I had father privilege. I ain't upset with that. I'm happy with that. I had that man in my life a long time. Do I feel sad when I see some of y'all with your 90-year-old pop? Yeah, I do. I do. But I'm happy with that. There's a freaking rainbow every time you see clouds. You may not see it, but there's a rainbow there. Be thankful for every moment, because one day you're not going to be able to be thankful, and then you can have some real sadness. So no, don't be upset with that. The world is supposed to go this way. If the majority of people want to be ruled and they want representative government, expect these things. Laugh about them and keep it moving. All right. Did my sharing and inviting. Yes, you did, Lori. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Humanitarian is the only thing that makes any sense to me. Right, Brother Jonathan? That's why I saw the tape. I saw the tape and grabbed Brother Jonathan. Jonathan, I wanted to fight, man. I was upset. I hadn't seen the cops grab you. I was upset. You know what? We need to take a clip of that and just post a clip of Brother Jonathan being arrested, just so everybody can see. That's white privilege right there. That's what white privilege look like. He out there fighting for everybody. Y'all. All right. So anyway, I hadn't seen you, brother. I was upset. Good thing I wasn't there. Jonathan, see, I have people say I'm kind and nice and patient. Yeah, I am. I'm on the internet. I can be all kind and nice and patient. I know me. So it's a good thing. We'd have went there together, Brother Jonathan, and we wouldn't been released. We wouldn't know. We'd still be there right now. I just don't believe in people touching me. I have an issue with touch. I'm a no touchy. I'm a no touchy type of guy. I'm not as smart as you. I know I'm safe on the internet. I'm just a no touchy. Why you touching me? Don't be touching me. I got an issue with this. I know I had my civics class, and I know you're not supposed to be touching me. All right? That's what we agree on. I am not one of these people that I'm OJ or something. I'm not that kind of guy. I believe in being a martyr. I'm 100% down for martyrism. I am. I'm not that guy. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I'm sorry. I'm not. All right. Anyway. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. It makes you a certain kind of way. There are people posting from other countries expressing anger at American apathy. And it's a good thing, Rebecca. The whole world should be posting about American apathy because America is completely apathetic. They take their privilege and they complain about what they don't have, and they live on what was stolen from all these other nations. All right, Yeah, Lord got the answer. Let me see. Sellouts are us. Yes, Rebecca, we are sellouts are us. And you know what? And the thing is, we are because we don't talk about it. You know, it's like we got a lot of people who are still indoctrinated. I used to be indoctrinated. I was a happy sellout. Now, Rebecca, I am an unhappy sellout. I'm selling everybody out, but I'm not happy about it no more. I got my cup of coffee, and I know Juan out there growing it in the field and stuff, and they gave him half a penny for it. And I'm not happy with it. So I'm speaking up for Juan. I'm still selling out. You don't have a choice here, but I'm trying to tell people the best I can, y'all. We need to stop this. We need to cut this out. We can take care of everybody, and we need to. I'm gonna try to get through as many comments as I can, and we'll see where that goes. Jim Lee's making a sequel to Frankenskies. Oh yeah, and is having a fundraiser. Okay, post a link, Guyan. Appreciate that. Frankenskies. Remember when that was fake news? Remember when Frankenskies was false until NASA said, "Yep, we spray y'all tonight." The universities, "Yep, we've been studying a long time." The CIA whistleblower, "Yep, we've been spraying y'all, and you got your lung disease. That's your problem." It's funny how conspiracies work. You know, there's always a little bit of truth to pretty much everything, is what they say. All right, the American government is the #1 corrupter. When are the American people going to do something? Susan, when it hurts enough. It doesn't hurt enough. They don't have enough homeless people. The Americans haven't had enough mass shootings. They haven't had enough explosions and scarcity and poisoning of their air, food, and water in their grocery store. They haven't had enough yet. They still hate other people. When they hate the people that's doing it to them, then something's gonna change. Until then, right now, Americans still got too much hate for each other. As long as you can turn on your TV and all you see is impeachment, you know, every single bad thing's gonna happen. Bad things gonna happen. Save your seeds and get ready for the apocalypse. What's a great show on Netflix I've been watching? I posted a question I was asking everybody yesterday. What y'all do? What are y'all doing while they're like faking impeaching the president with some hypocrisy? What are y'all doing? Everybody's posting what they were doing. You know what I was doing? I was watching a show on Netflix called Daybreak. Great show. Funny. I love zombies and apocalypses, and that's what it's about. It's about what the world is like after all the parents are dead. Well, we're not totally dead. We're ghoulies, y'all. We're ghoulies. That's what they call us on the movie, ghoulies. We just, like, it's some sort of bomb that make us act like Democrats and Republicans, like we don't really have a brain. We just, and like your last thought is what you're doing. So all your parents are like running around on the last thought, going shopping and impeaching presidents and stuff. And it's just about the kids surviving, which is going to be fantastic. I love it. That's what I was doing. I was watching what the kids got to do when this world plays out. When this apathy plays out, we finish with this whole model of hating the poor people. This is the kids survive. It's kind of funny. I saw the first few couple episodes. I like fantasy. I like sci-fi. Sci-fi is how you get out of things, and I want to see what it's like, what the world the kids got to deal with after this apocalypse things come to an end of giving all banks and corporations rule over the planet. All right, cultural stripping is a foundation to identity loss and blanket canvases. Right, Jay Jane, I think that's Jeannie. That's what they do. We're talking about the sellout generation. Now they were waiting on us. We are the ones that they were waiting on. We're the ones that Cabal was waiting for. Yeah, that's what they do. They break everybody's attachment to culture, and eventually you'll have a generation that will completely sell them out. There was a great historical reenactment documentary thing called Barbarians. If you didn't watch it, you should watch it. Is that Netflix? I think it might be Netflix. They kind of went through the Roman Empire and how they went around and they were dominating the tribes, and they would move into an area and they'd kill off the parents or enslave the parents, and they would take the kids and they would take them back to Rome. And that's like America. Take you back to Rome and they raise you as a Roman, right? And then they'll send you back to your land to go murder your people. And that's what they were doing with all these different tribes. And this is what they're doing. This is how America works. Everybody's turned on their tribes. Everybody's in America. They got everything. They got into West Canada too. Not gonna leave y'all out. And we turned on everybody else. France, Dutch, everywhere. We've turned on everybody. We were the generation that they were waiting for. But that's what they do, is they break our attachment to sustainability, which is why Tesla was one of the hatest men on the planet, because he wanted to free the human race. He wanted to free people up so they can sit around and think about being better people. They can sit around and just be pleasant. They don't have to go to work and be mad, angry, fighting in the interior over bagels and donuts, making corporations more money. and arguing mad about the government while the corporations make more money, work with the industry and lobbyists to buy the government to make the people even more mad so they can come to work the next day and pay their taxes. All right, the American government are puppets. They're not pulling their own strings. However, without government, who would do the work for the ruling class? Right, Rebecca, well, they're puppets. They work for the ruling class, and the ruling class runs everything. That's how the world works. But you can't tell adults that in America. You cannot tell them that, Rebecca. You're not going to tell them that. You're not going to tell them Santa Claus ain't real. Santa Claus is real. That's what it is. Because that's what they say. And that's what most people believe. So that's where we are. Collective mind connections, all mind. Yep, we're all mind and we're all connected. He was tapped into source like Edgar Casey, I think so. If you look into the Cryan, he says similar things to Tesla. Okay, I don't know who Cryan is. Ivan, if you posted a link, I'd appreciate it, or I'll look it up later. If you give it away, the bad guys will steal it. It's best to sell it than use the money for good, I think. I'm not sure what we're talking about, Stacy. I think everything should be given away. You know, and this is just the innovative mindset of mine, like in my head, right? Like I've just seen too much in terms of technology. Like nothing really has to cost anything. There's nobody who has to go without. I believe in giving things away. If you give things away, then there's no reason for anybody to steal it. If everything is free, if energy is free, water is free, because energy's always been free, water's always been free, and food is free, because food has always been free. If we just revert back to the way things used to be, using a little bit of automation, robots, maybe a 3D printer, everybody has what they need. And everybody has what they need. What is crime? Crime goes away. Everybody's pleasant. That gets back to that Sage Guru quote, right? And every human being is doing what truly matters to them. The world becomes a beautiful place. When you free the human race, beautiful things happen. You keep them as slaves, they keep fighting each other on the plantation, and I'm way ahead. Anybody with influence who speaks the truth will be silenced eventually. Yes, they will, Stacy, because that's how this world works. That's how it works. If we continue to vote to be ruled, then we will be ruled. Anybody who stands in defiance of that will be murdered. And the people who were supporting the government will cheer the people who were murdered after they're murdered and not understand that the government actually did it. The puppets. They killed Zappa too. Yes, they did, guy. And they killed Bob Marley. Hendrix was tortured to death. Yes, he was, Lord. Did you see that? They went back and they did analysis over the death of Hendrix. You know how he died? They said he died from overdosing drugs, but somehow they found what it was like 2 gallons of red wine in his lungs or something crazy like that. Gallon and a half. I might be making that part up in terms of how much. So before he took the drugs that killed himself, because he was a crazy rock and roll guy that was like, hey, we need to stop the war in Vietnam, you know, love everybody. He apparently snorted like a couple bottles of red wine. Think about that. One day a CIA whistleblower is going to say that he killed him too, right? Because that's how all this works. You keep voting for these people who, it's like the whole police state thing. A police state is a requirement of the empire, and the police state doesn't just stay in your state. As long as you have an empire, you have to have the means to support it. You have to have this FBI, DHS, CIA, you know, you have to have slave catchers and people stopping anybody who is trying to take down the empire or anyone who's speaking against it. So it's a requirement that the Bob Marleys be murdered, the Martin Luther Kings, the John Lennons, the Zappas, the JFKs. It is a requirement. As long as you have a representative form of government and they're not actually calling the shots, big corporations, industries, and banks, and 13 families call it, it is a requirement that they build an empire, because that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to do that. And they're supposed to kill anybody that comes after that. Like we were talking about the whole religion thing, and how, you know, government is in control, or religion, or corporations, however you want to look at it. It's always about power, right? They're all in opposition, right? They all have a God, they all worship something, they all want to be in power. And somebody said, you know, because I was asking a question. I was like, why would you apply to work for, I'm going to answer the question. I like to stir the Kool-Aid. why would you apply to want to work for, a group that supports pedophilia, a group that defends pedophiles, a group that defends slavery and war? Why would you want to apply? Why would you go work for a corporation that does that? It's like you're trying to figure out where you want to work. You're looking at the different corporations. I'm gonna go work here, see who's paying this, what's the job description, what I got to do, blah, 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 blah. But you look and see, oh, they support human trafficking. Yeah, supposed to have the morals and ethics to say I don't want to work with them, right? And so, of course, I was trying to get people to think about politicians and candidates wanting to go work for those who are defending the Epstein enterprise at the moment. Work for these killers and rapers and enslavers and warmongers and war criminals. Why would a decent person want to do that? I don't think that a decent person would want to do it, because you wouldn't do it. If you wouldn't do it, then obviously they wouldn't want to do it. You wouldn't go work for a human trafficking business, and if they want to go work with human trafficking parties, there's an issue. There's an issue. And the brother mentioned the Catholics, like, yeah, why would anybody go work for the Catholic Church? But like, yeah, I'm agreeing with them, because it's a business now. Once you get too big, you're not a church anymore. Once you might be a little. When you little and y'all got your little wooden church, it might be about Jesus, love everybody, chicken bake sales, whatever. Once you get big, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Once you get big, that's the end of it. You're a corporation. You're an empire. And the Catholic Church is an empire. I don't like it, but it's true. Muslim, empire. Christianity, empire. You become a business. You become corporated, which means you have to have a police state. You have to protect your existence. You have to protect the power. That's why they don't turn the priest in. Why? Because they're protecting their power. They have their own little cover-up police state type deal that they won't turn their priests in, because the priests are the ones who hold up the empire. Once you get high enough up in the organization, you can't fall. If you fall, you affect the identity of the empire. Empires protect themselves. Systems protect themselves. Just like people protect themselves. But you can't have anything that's big and powerful, otherwise it's going to protect itself. It'll cover up anything it needs to exist, just like you will. That's why power is the problem. It's not the Catholic Church. That's not the problem. Christianity ain't the problem. Muslims ain't the problem. Democrats and Republicans, dang, it's so hard to say not the problem. They're not the problem. The problem is power. They can all exist in a world where power is not there. As long as you got power, bad things gonna happen. You don't have a right to have any control over anybody else. Hendrix was tortured to death. Yes, he was. Waterboarded. Oh, red wine. Okay, Lori, I already said it right there. Let me see. Kill the others. Jeannie watched that. Did y'all watch that yesterday? We had the watch party. That was fantastic. I invited everybody. Only 20 people showed up. No, I think 50 people showed up. What is the name of that movie, Jeannie? We watched it yesterday. You need to watch it. The brother from, what movie was he? He was from a sitcom. He was from Last Man on Earth. You didn't watch The Last Man on Earth, you should watch that. That's a good escape from the modern oppressive engine that we have. It was hilarious. I think Ivana sent that to me, and Will Markham posted it. It was a 45-minute walkthrough. I need to go to it because it was fantastic. It was a walkthrough. It was kind of like a Black Mirror-ish walkthrough. If we continue with today's apathy and ignorance, where you get to, you know what? I guess I don't want to say it, because if I say it, it'll be like a spoiler alert, but you should watch it. Just watch it. Here we go. It's called Electric Dreams. Is that what it's called? No, that's the studio that made it. This is it right here. It's called, I don't know the name. Oh, it's called Oh My Goodness, Watch This. No, OMG Must Watch. It's not the name of it. It was a great production. I don't know who. All right, so it doesn't have maybe it's the name of play. This was fantastic.
From sea to shining sea.
You got to a place.
Nexus Can. Yes, it's can.
Yeah, yes. Nexus Can. In Mexico, U.S., and Canada, Nexus Can. You got to watch it. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. It just hit all the little nuances of today's political system, and it showed you where we're going to get to. One day in the road. This actually was spurred on the post. I watched it. By the time I got to the end of it, I had that thought. I was no, not lying now. What was it? No, not lying. Oh, the sister had a good thought. Sister Keisha. Right. Well, this is what we asked a minute ago, but that's not what I was.
Texas can.
Texas can. There you go. Because there was one candidate, and everybody was cheering for the one candidate, and I was just like, "Yeah, that's why they run two candidates." Because one would just be a little too obvious. Like some people got it when it was 3, 2 they still can't figure it out, and finally, eventually, it's just gonna be one. And when it'll be one, they're gonna be out there voting. And that just brought that thought to mind from George Carlin. You are owned. They own you. You consent to your ownership. But it was a great video. It was a great production. You should watch it. All right. Hillary will probably outlive us all. Yes, she will, Stacey. She will outlive us all because they actually already have the fountain of youth. We already know that. That started with the whole telomere science and stem cells. Of course, you can live forever. They figured that out. That was not fake news. That was in the scripture. Methuselah lived to be what, 800? That was not fake news. That dude in China lived to be 500. They proved that on 2020 that he at least lived to be 200. Yes, you don't. The human being has an indefinite lifespan. They've proven that. You have telomerase enzyme that repair your telomeres on the ends of your chromosomes. You're not supposed to die. You make enough of that enzyme when you're 90 years old. And then once they figure that out, they're not going to share it with us because we're stupid enough to have a government that has secrets. I talk about that every damn day. They got all the secrets. They're going to live forever. We, not so much. Why? They need us to die by the time we're 120 because after that, you get a little too smart. You just want to question your government when you get in the 80s and 90s. Why do you think those people are ornery? They didn't seen 80, 90 years of this nonsense. They didn't seen 100 years of this nonsense. They get a little ornery. They can't have that. They need you to die in 120. Clinton gonna die when she about 4, 5, 700. That's when she gonna live probably longer than Methuselah, right? She can dog all the trash you want. That's why she don't care. And Trump gonna live that long too. I'm trying to tell you, he gonna live that long. I know y'all think he's fighting the deep state. The deep state don't work that way. If he's fighting the deep state, he would be snorting red wine, all right? He'd have a lead diet the same way JFK did. That's just how evil psychopathic killers in power work. They don't really give two damns about whether you're Republican, you're Democrat, you're Trump, you're Obama. You will do as you're told because you own. And if you don't, you're gonna be swimming with the fishes. You're gonna meet Jimmy Hoffa. You're gonna be singing guitar songs with Bob Marley. That's how the world works. Don't try to convince me otherwise. Do not. I done been here for 40-some, 5, 6, something like that years. And I see how it works. I ain't been here for 100, but by the time I get there, I'm gonna be ornery like them. All right. The interview with Tesla, he talks about how he controls his body temperature and heart rate with his mind to conserve energy. Yes, and in fact, there was a good show, Susan, where somebody else did that. That's not crazy. Stan Lee had a reality show where they were going through humans and performance, like human beings that perform beyond what the norm accepted. And there was a guy who could regulate his temperature. He could sit in ice water and his body temperature would actually go up. That was a great show. Proves that mind over matter. It's the other stuff Tesla talked about. We are energy, our thoughts are manifested. What you think about is going to become your reality. Who I was listening to this morning? Oh, I can't say his name. I can't say his name because y'all gonna bring out your prejudices. I won't say his name, but he said that's why I modified his quote before I posted it because people, they hear the identity label, they flip out. He said that words are seeds. Words are seeds, and you're planting seeds all day. And so I'm thinking words are seeds, and the sentence is the soil. You're planting seeds all day long, and the things you plant will manifest, and you will eat that fruit later. So it's your choice. You can be planting poison or you can be planting fruit, but you're planting seeds all damn day. The things you plant will manifest. The same way Tesla can control his body temperature and manifest those things. Whether you like it or not, your subconscious is in more control than what you are. It makes 98% of your decisions all day long. You are either planting things that will come back as beautiful things or things that will come back as aggressive. Poisons. All right, let me see. 2016, It's also when a lot of folks woke up. Yes, Aunt Stacy, it was, which is a good time to be alive right now. I think that there are a lot of people speaking about truthful things at the moment. My brother told me a coworker purchased a gas electric Ford Fusion that you can alternate power source and has a plug-in charge system. Yeah, there are a lot of good ones out there, Sandra. I kind of like the Dodge Volt, is it Chevy Volt, whoever makes that. That's gas and electric, and you can just do pure electric. But I think that I think they said that got discontinued, which is not a surprise because it beat the Tesla. It went something like 50 miles on electric charge. Can't have that. You can't have that. Not in a world with Rockefeller. That's just too much energy. That's too smart. You need to have things that destroy the climate because that's what representative government is there for. You need to destroy the ecosystem. You need to burn up as much fuel as possible that move too fast in that direction. My next car will be an electric car. I'm not gonna buy another car unless it's electric. Right, I was in awe of no Facebook jail for G for so long. Right, Lori, you just gotta be happy with it. You know, I had jail. I had different jails. It was never a live jail. They finally realized, like, yeah, all right, let him say whatever his monkey talk is, but he ain't doing no live streaming. And I'm not even sure why. People ask me why. Lori, I didn't even ask. I really don't care. It's, you know what? Here's a reason why. This is why I got banned on Facebook Live. It's because the majority of people want it. That's why. The detail, the topic, it doesn't really matter. The majority of people want it. And for me, I think it had to do with my veteran comments. Support the troops, listen to the veterans. The majority of people don't want that. And they vote against that. And that's why. That's how the world works. You got to accept, like, Lori, who are we to tell other people what their reality is? We're nobody, right? These platforms are owned by the majority of people and the corporations that they keep in power. So you can't tell other people what kind of world they have. These people want psychopathic world. They want pedophile world. They want war world. They want a world where women don't have any rights. This is the world the majority of people want. It's what they consent to. This is what we got. So that's why people get banned on YouTube and Facebook, social media. Pick the chat, the rest of these places, because you're saying and doing things that the majority don't want you to be doing. And it all manifests itself in that type of control. Sandra's just discovering electric cars. Yep, and they have fantastic things. They're running fantastic things. All right. I hope you kept your archive. Guyan, I kind of do, sort of, kind of, it's just, it's one of those things, like words are vibrations, Guyan. You put them out there in the universe, they're supposed to vibrate, do what they have, do what they do. I don't think I have an archive, Guyan, because I didn't do this. That's the one thing I agree that Obama said. I didn't agree with anything else. That man was in office, Guyan, and his mouth just never stopped. He's like me, except for he liked killing and murdering people in slavery. Like me, his mouth never stopped. One thing he said, you got a business, you didn't build that, you didn't do that, And he was right about that, because we survive as a collective. He was absolutely right about that. So it's not my archive. But I put stuff out there, supposed to vibrate, share it, do this, that, whatever. When it's done, it's done. But we survive as a group. Let me see. I like self-driving electric cars. You do, Lori? I'm not on a self-driving car. Them things still driving people off of cliffs. I'm not really into those yet. I think I love innovations. I've been an innovator my whole life. I've been an engineer my whole life. But I like to make things that don't drive human beings off of cliffs. That's the cliff, gravity, and that doesn't work out too well for us. Technology has to stay in development in laboratories before you release it, right? It's like the whole, I'm not anti-vaccine, I'm not anti-GMO, I'm not anti any of these things. I'm pro, we need to test them and make sure that they don't kill people or the ecosystem that people need before they die. That's what I am. All right, just a bunch of comments. Let's take a peek over here real quick, because always gotta know what the monkey's upset with today. What's going on with the monkeys? Oh, is that a Tesla or a Mustang? What is that? Guess where new Mustang will be built? Sad. Where's the Mustang gonna be built? The American Mustang? Where they gonna build a Mustang somewhere? I can guess. I can make some guesses. Where's the Mustang gonna be built? Anybody wanna guess? Here's my guess. It'll be built in a nation that has slaves prepared to build it. It will be built in a nation with the cheapest labor. It will be built in a nation where you can put a 5-year-old under some nuts and bolts and a cherry picker to build an engine. It'll be built in a nation that's firing people and putting in as much automation as possible to build cars and not reduce the prices up. That's my guess. It's not gonna be built in America. Why? Because the Mustang is an American car. And America's being looted by two political parties that are puppets for these big corporations.
We're gonna begin with something that speaks volumes. Our government is forever blasting two countries in particular, right?
Yeah, it's not our government, Rick. Rick. Don't lie, Rick. It's not. We have nothing to do with this. We are being ruled.
We generally say two things about them: that they're not fair, that they're un-American, and that we as American consumers should avoid their products and buy American. By golly. Well, there is one product that is probably more American than just about any other. In fact, as cars go, this is it. This is as iconic as it gets.
Ford takes over the town.
Ford, it's the going thing.
Mustang, the hottest going thing, is the car that made all America young. Mustang Mach 1. Built for the big hurry with Cobra jet. Racier, sportier, success on parade. Mustang, the going thing.
Ford, it's the going thing. Yeah!
There it is, Mustang, the going thing, as you heard in that spot. The car that made all America young. When you say Mustang, you're talking USA, strong, rugged, free, independent. It's a part of Americana. And now, as automobile technology turns to batteries and electric and to plug-ins, there's this.
Should have seen this coming. A stampede unleashed 55 years ago. An icon built for freedom, the open road, power, and rebellion. And just when you think you know where they're going, they do something unexpected.
Something that moves us all forward.
And holds nothing back. The all-electric Mustang Mach-E.
The newest member of the family.
Newest member of the family, the Mustang Mach-E. That's right. The Mustang is going electric. Good old American know-how survives, right? American ingenuity on display, right? Wrong. Why? The Mustang, America's most legendary car, will now be built in. Are you ready for this? Remember at the very beginning of this newscast, I said there are two countries that we're already told, we're always being told we should not buy from those countries. It's almost un-American to buy from those countries. That's what we're told by our government officials and others. Well, this Mustang Mach-E, this electric car, will be built in Mexico and China. Two countries that our government is constantly telling us is un-American, not to buy from them. Not in the U.S., Mexico and China.
Of course, it makes sense.
So say what you will about China and Mexico being bad or having a system that doesn't work. In the end, more and more American products, even the most iconic American products, the Mustang, doesn't get more iconic than that, are being built in places like Mexico and China and Vietnam, and I could go on.
And America gonna pay for
built
it.
there?
Oh, I got to do the Trump thing. Because I said the wall will be built and Mexico's gonna pay for it. It's like, no, the Mustang's gonna be built in China and Mexico, and America's gonna pay for it. Why? Because we're being looted. Okay, you're being looted by two political parties whose job now is to represent corporations, and that's what they're doing, and they're getting great retirements for it. So they're gonna build the Mustang, and they're gonna build the bald eagle in Mexico too, and Americans gonna pay for it. Same way that you got your American flag, and where you think it's made? It ain't made in America. It's made in China. See, it's funny because what they do is, and this is why I'm saying it's human farming. This is why it's like a scientific experiment. I like just to watch the human farm. I really don't like to engage too much and just kind of watch what's happening. They're farming the humans and you keep them in conflict with each other. And it's just like, oh, China is the enemy. We need to stop China. We need a trade war with China for the poor people, not for us. It's just for y'all, not for them. They got billions of dollars to make, trillions of dollars to make. They invest in, they're friendly, loving. Listen, when you go to the golf course and they all together, yo. They all together. They always are. Since the beginning of time, you thought your king was fighting the king of France and y'all's England and stuff. They're not fighting. They had a dispute. They had a tissue and the issue for the tissue. They had a tizzy and a bet. Okay? They were never opposed. Why do you think their daughters and sons always marrying each other? Game of Thrones. This is Game of Corporations. Same thing. It's for you. They need you to be upset with somebody other than them, okay? They need you to hate Mexican. Mexicans coming, we can't stop them. They're coming to the border, we gotta stop them. We gotta build a wall and they need to pay for it. They need to make you hate the immigrants. They need to make you hate them, right? But they're gonna do deals with them, right? Anything that loots your pocket, your government will always do because it ain't your government. I think this is hilarious.
Because tough rhetoric aside, we ask them to build them. Irony. This is the news. Rick Sanchez.
It's not irony, it's stupidity. It's just us. We don't have any sense of self. We don't have any sense. We don't have any common sense. We don't have nothing. Americans hate each other. As long as Americans hate each other, corporations gonna get away with murder, as they should, and they do. And they will continue to do so. Our kids are gonna be like our kids probably ain't gonna have. They probably gonna live in rocks or something. I don't know what they're gonna. They're gonna live in houses. Our kids, if they let our kids live, y'all Democrats and Republicans keep this mess up. Our kids gonna live in like rocks. They're gonna eat mud cakes. We're gonna have an S-hole country. That's what China gonna say when they got all the money and Russia got all our military industrial complex because the Rothschilds and Rockefellers pick up and take the whole military industrial complex and the Pentagon and they fly it to Russia and put it down in Moscow. You're like, I thought Russia was the enemy. No, they don't have enemies at that level. Everything's a Game of Thrones. Everything's a deal. Nothing's personal at that level. Things are personal for you because you're emotional and you act like a child. 52. It's not emotional for them. They're just making deals all day long, making deals all day long. Let me see. All right. Anyway, fear-mongering simulation depicts 32 dead. What is that? What? Depicting people dying? What happened? 200 wounded on election day. Oh, okay. So I'm not sure I want to show that. That's like probably that whole, we need Homeland Security to protect our elections. And they'll show you imagery or whatever to make you scared and fearful. Take our rights and protect our elections, protect our democracy and our right to pull a lever. I bet you that's what that is. Y'all want to watch that? We can watch that if you want. But I think that's what it is. I just why I'm not scared of any. I don't let those things scare me. I really don't care. I know voting's insignificant. It doesn't really matter at all. Veterans react to Trump's military pardons. Could be interesting. New video, tearing up sidewalks for 5G future. Ooh, 5G. 5G is always important. So I guess they're tearing up sidewalks to put 5G. Why would they tear up sidewalks for 5G? I don't know. Maybe we gotta watch that. Are they using that to blast the sidewalk? What is this about?
You know, the biggest event every year in the United States from a media standpoint, if nothing else, is the Super Bowl. It's broadcast and seen by more people than anything else that originates in the United States. And as far as events go that are seen throughout the world, this is why tech companies are gearing up in Miami, Florida, to show off the future of 5G technology. Why? Well, because the Super Bowl is going to be held in Miami this year. Reporting tonight from Miami, checking this all out, is RT correspondent John Honey.
What's a Super Bowl?
Miami is going 5G and fast. The city is undergoing a telecom transformation with these 5G poles and infrastructure being added every couple hundred feet in downtown Miami, Miami Beach, and Little Havana. Basically, all the tourist spots. AT&T and Verizon have been leading the charge in installing the 5G networks in anticipation of Super Bowl 54 February 2nd at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The 5G technology is supposed to add faster and clearer wireless connection and communication, but it's also causing a mess in many areas, with spray-painted markings at intersections, chewed-up sidewalks, and in some parts of the city, unfinished work. This is the corner of Southwest 8th Street and 2nd Avenue in the downtown Brickell area of Miami, where they just recently put up a 5G pole, as you can see there. And here on the sidewalk, there's still all the markings of where they were laying the infrastructure. There's
We gotta stop here. I'm sorry. I can't watch anymore. I can't watch anymore because it's stupid. I'm sorry. Getting to the. You mean to tell me that they're rolling out 5G all over Miami and they're putting up death towers? Look at this. This looks like a Vlad Impaler tower. Y'all see this right here? They're putting up these death towers. Towers of death and aggression to bees, bugs, birds, human beings, immune systems, brains, and everything that the doctor and told us, the scientists, the entomologists. And the only issue that you got is the sidewalks got some paint on them. This is why you can't trust any of the news. This is why I can't watch the rest of it. RT, maybe that you just reporting on people being upset in Miami. Miami, y'all gonna need a lot more suntan lotion. If the only thing the only issue you have with 5G is not what the doctors are saying and the scientists and the biologists. Is a biologist a thing? Entomologist. If the only thing you got, the only problem you have is the paint, then darling, get out there and wash the paint. And then ripping up your sidewalks. If that's the problem that y'all have, I agree with you. I think that's the problem. Just you're gonna need some extra suntan lotion if you're walking out in Miami. All right. I can't watch it because that's not the problem. Like, I don't believe in static. I'm not interested in static. We have an issue with 5G, big time issue with 5G. And you need to listen to the professionals what the issue. They didn't even test it. They didn't even care to test it. They don't care. They're rolling it out. And that should bother everybody. It's not about no damn sidewalks. All right. Wealthy hoarding their money. Right, because the wealthy's always been hoarding their money. Y'all can't even see that. Why is that over there? That's the last article over there. Wealthy hoarding. New report. This is new. It's a new report. The wealthy is hoarding their money. You notice how in the title says their money, not your money, not the money that's being embezzled from you, not the money that your government's just giving away to them, not the money that they printing from the Federal Reserve, where they only just print just enough to keep you in poverty and keep you scared of your neighbors because they're going to prison because they need to steal some food. Yeah, it's not their money number one, and it's not new. They've been hoarding since the very beginning, and they're supposed to. Anytime you have a society where the people say it's okay that 90-some% of the wealth stays in 5% of the population, then that's what they're supposed to do. People consent to it, so this is what we got. CIA pulling strings in Iran uprising. Who is it? Of course they are. They always have been. How many CIA whistleblowers then told us that before? We know that. That's old. We're not going to give Iran any freedom. We're going over there because we're told to go over there because we're like a little child being slapped in the head by the Central Reserve banking system and go blow up a nation because they can make some money. Kaepernick tells NFL, stop running after workout. After the workout. Kaepernick tells the NFL, stop running after workout. So Cap, appreciate you, brother. Love you to death. Yes, you did the right thing. Absolutely did the right thing. Everybody needs to protest in their own ways, and everybody needs to support how they protest. The American flag and the pledge has nothing to do with America. It's all about 13 families and looting the country. So you did the right thing. But you can tell the NFL to stop all you want. And Americans, they're going to do the same thing they did before. Yeah, that's a bad protest. That protest is not going to work out. I had a lot of friends. We didn't fight with Kaepernick. We're not going to watch football. I saw that one coming. I was like, yeah, you're not gonna. I was watching my football friends. My friends that know every statistic. They know everything about it. Every single player, the size shoe, the knuckle, and how fast he run, how high he jumped, what he did in 1772, 1340. And they got so much statistics. They got fantasy football because football ain't enough. The Coliseum ain't enough. They know everything. And they was like, yeah, because they won't stop killing black lives. I was like, oh yeah. You care more about black lives than the NFL. Really? When's the last time you went to the ghetto, bro? When's the last time? Oh yeah, you gonna stand with Kaepernick? Are you gonna take a knee? You gonna take it? How long you gonna take a knee? You're not gonna watch football at all this year. Mm-hmm. I was like, I saw that one coming. That's why I kind of just laugh at this stuff a little bit. If you're going to do a protest, you need to do a protest that people are going to follow. These people are indoctrinated to love, but there's nothing wrong with it. In terms of, it's how people get up in the day. It's like me. If I tell you, if you want me to get in a protest and say, listen, Gerard, we need to protest alien movies and zombie movies. I'm not going to do it. Don't worry about what I say. I'm not going to. We need to protest Hollywood across the board. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to protest Hollywood, everything except for zombie movies and alien movies. The rest of it I can protest. So I knew they weren't going to do that. I saw that one coming. FedEx hits back at New York Times over article on taxes. Oh, no, last thing on that. Yeah, if you want to do a protest, it's got to be something sustainable and it's got to be something that people will do. You're not going to do that. FedEx hits back on New York Times over articles on taxes. Well, taxes shouldn't exist. They're embezzlement, right? You don't get to tax people because they're living and breathing and trying to survive. That's stupid. It's embezzlement. There's a fiery crash. Yep. Did ABC fail to report child sex abuse to police? Of course they did, because of course they all do. This is what all the networks do. The billionaires news doesn't care anybody. Like, you know what I got asked the other day? There was another NBC report that talked about they stopped another child trafficking ring, another 200 kids they found being trafficked. And the sister asked me, Sister Desiree asked me, said, why is this so rampant now? Why is pedophilia so rampant? First of all, pedophilia has been rampant since the beginning of time. You have a police state. The NSA, they know everything. But their job isn't to go after people who are hurting people. Their job is not to protect us. Their job is not to protect the children. The NSA is not there to keep you safe. The Homeland Security is not there to make sure the homeland's secure. The police state's not there for that. There are good people there who sign up to do that, but that's not the job. The job is not to stop pedophilia or human trafficking. We've been in human trafficking from the beginning. The job is to maintain the empire. Right? They have no interest in pedophilia. I think what's happening right now is they're trying to fulfill the narrative on one side that Trump is going after them. So they gotta release, and they might get a few of the low budget ones, right? The ones that really aren't connected, but they're not going after the Epstein crew, the A project. They want to make people feel like we're gonna stop crime from happening with our police state. They don't, to them, that's not a crime. You got hurt, your kids got hurt. That's not a crime to them. Crime to them is something that hurts profit. Doesn't hurt. They don't go after real crime. They go after crime. They got the fake crime. Anything that is political. Right? That's why the majority of people in U.S. prisons, they're all political prisoners. Okay? The police state's not there for you. It never was. The country's not there for you. People don't believe in protecting children, so of course the government's not going to do it. There's no return on investment. They could start protecting children today and people still vote. They're not going to start. You're not going to stop voting or start voting because they protect children. So why would they? There's no return on investment in protecting children. They've already got two apathetic groups that don't give two damns about anybody else but themselves. All right. Do I have a link to the Mexican video? Oh yeah, every video I show Guyane, I got there. Citizen Deb asked me something about live streaming my live stream. Go right ahead, sis. Do whatever you like. Miami literally bringing 5G close to home. Yeah, Rebecca, they're gonna have lightning fast internet and microwaves and connected to the washing machines, and they're gonna have a, what do they call them? Automated houses or whatever. I love automated housing. I love technology. I'm just not gonna do it while you got a cabal that's running everything. To me, I think that's stupid to actually to get a smart house in a time where people who run your nation aren't smart and they're not there for you. That's the dumbest thing I had ever heard. Why would you do something so stupid? The people are not there for you. The police state's not there for you. It's there to watch you. It's there to control you and contain you. The last thing I'm gonna do is get a smart house when I got idiots in office. That's just the dumbest thing. Not idiots. Maybe they're not idiots, but they're not there for me. You know, I want them to have less visibility in what I'm doing, not more. They already got way too much. All right, let me start to wrap this up. I protested at the Super Bowl in 2016. Yes, Lori, good for you, girl. They didn't care, but you get them, girl. Get them. You just go get them. You know, but you got to do you. You got to do you, and I'm glad that you did that. But the people were probably like, Lori, shut up, sit down, get out the way. And Lori's probably like, Black Lives Matter. And Lori, because they y'all say that she's white, she's like, Black Lives Matter. And the black people in the back like, shut up, sit down. Touchdown. Because people don't care. People don't care. Say you out in a minute. That's why I don't do, like Lori, like I think somebody said, language was designed to lie, right? So before there was language, all you had was people's actions. You didn't have their words. So either they was doing it, they were doing it. They weren't doing it, they weren't doing it. Fact. Now that we have words, they can lie. They can say, Black Lives Matter. They don't give two damn. They don't give two damn. Millions of black kids and children, they could care less. They still voting to keep them in prison. That's why I don't get involved. I don't get involved. I just stay out of it. White lives matter. When last time you went to the trailer park, bro? Would you go down there and feed some white kids? When you went to the Appalachian Mountains? Who you looking out for? No, you just hate the other side. That's what. Lori, I mean, I just sit back and it's to me it's all this. It's just a whole lot of that. Whole lot of that. We were the generation they were waiting for. We don't act like Tesla where we want to help out everybody. We just want to help out ourselves and ally with people who want to help us helping ourselves out. That's all of that is. All right, let me see. So yeah, I don't believe in the protest stuff. You'll post a Chinese video. Thank you, Jeannie. Let me see. 2 prison guards arrested over Epstein's suicide. Right, Rebecca, because the poor people did it. Obviously. Everybody knows that. When billionaires, buddies, and pals go to prison, poor people kill them, right? And most people believe it, Rebecca. I told you that was going to happen. And most people believe, like, yes, we got him. We got the guy, and we got the guy that got the guy. We're safe. And that's just not how any of this works. That is not how any of this works. They always blame the poor people. There were 26 kids hidden behind the wall in daycare here in Colorado. Well, Trisha, they're not there for us. If they were there for us, we wouldn't have these problems. But most people, once again, if it's not their kid, they don't care. Gee, I'm wondering if Debbie Lusignan's archive she had posted on WordPress is available since all her good work is relevant in this new selection cycle. And it is my understanding, I could be wrong, Debbie deleted the whole thing. She got rid of it. If I'm not mistaken. The problem was she stood up at a time and she spoke when it was not popular. And forces came to bear and she protected herself and she did the right thing. So I think she might have gotten rid of it. She doesn't need that type of heat. In fact, to be honest with you, like I saw y'all's post, she doesn't even like the post. She doesn't want her name even brought up. So much negativity was brought down on that woman that she can't have anything to do with it. Right? And it's part of why I'm glad I'm not glad. It's part of why I laugh about being banned on Facebook. You don't get to be big and be okay. When the majority of people want to fry you for saying the things like she's saying, you're not going to get big and make it. So they came after her. So yeah, I know the last time I talked to her, she doesn't want her content posted anywhere. She can't have anything to do with any of it. And you can use your creativity and wonder why. But we just talked about Bob Marley. We just talked about JFK. We just talked about Jimi Hendrix. We just talked about Zappa. We just talked about, this is how this world works. It's really ugly, but this is the real thing. You know, so any content anybody wants to do, you do you, right? Take what you learn from Debbie or anybody else and do your thing. But yeah, she doesn't want any parts of that. She doesn't want any of that negative energy, that hate being brought back her way. I did my best with Debbie. When I met Debbie, I did my best to shield her from some of the hate. But boy, it was pretty nasty. So anyway, last time I heard from her, she was doing great. She was doing great. They don't give a crap. No, Lori, they don't give a crap. Elections don't matter. Nope, Ivana, they don't. No information will change anything. Not even Debbie's investigation. Nope, Ivana, because most people don't want to hear it. Most people want to be right. They don't want to hear it. They don't care about what's true. They care about what's profitable to them. We were protesting at Standing Rock, and they didn't care about Standing Rock. Lori, they ripping up roads all over. Every time I drive home, they kept ripping up roads, putting a pipeline in. They could care less. But once again, in the oligarchy, If it's profitable, they're going to do it. They don't care if it destroys the ecosystem, extincts the human race, kills the manatee, destroys the deer, kills off the bee populations. They don't care. If it's profitable, they're going to do it. If it's profitable, and they got an apathetic public that hate each other more than they hate destroying the ecosystem that they all need to survive, then the corporations are going to do it. And that's exactly what they're doing. And that's what they should do. That's what they should do. This is a lesson. This is going to be a great lesson. That's why my hashtag is we all gonna die. My hashtag, we all gonna die. You know, and it's gonna be a great lesson. We're gonna learn this one good. We're gonna learn this one real good. It might knock the human population back to 5 people, 5 people. They're gonna have to inbreed and share husbands or something, but we want this. We're begging for this to happen. And the planet's gonna give it to us. You cannot make corporations in charge of everything. Gerard did Occupy back in the day. Lori, I did not. Do not say that about me. Hell no. No. I had friends that did. And Lori, I was just smart enough to not get involved. Oh no. Oh hell no. No. Occupy understood the problem. They went right after the banks and corporations. I did not do Occupy. Hell no. I have a friend who did Occupy. He won't even look at social media. The things that they didn't put them on a terrorist watch list, and then it came for all of them. And they're still coming for them. Oh no, they actually targeted, they didn't target Republicans. They didn't target Democrats. They didn't target the liberals or the conservatives. They went right to the actual problem. Those kids knew more than all of these adults knew. And the FBI, the CIA, the Homeland Security, they didn't swap. They came for them. I do no Occupy. No, I was a children's rights activist. I stayed in the little lane. I was not big like the college students who actually went for the actual problem, who knew that we live in an oligarchy and a corporatocracy. Right? You know what? Speaking of Occupy, though, the thing that got me about Occupy, I supported Occupy. I was not at Occupy. What got me is the kids knew. The kids always know. The kids usually know, and they're the ones who stand up. And you had the adults sitting at home, Lori, yelling and screaming, get a job, bum, get a job, do something with your life. You had morons and idiots and people I love to death, but just dumb as a bag of bricks. When these children stood up against the actual problem in our world, in our nation, and the adults chastised them for actually standing up. This is why we all gonna die. All gonna die, turned on them. Yeah, no, I was not. I have friends today that were in Occupy. They've only. I don't even think he's my friend on Facebook no more. He's like, nope, you speaking on things. I can't even be your friend. I don't know what your police state threatening people with, but it was not good. So yeah, no, that was an effective movement. And this is why, Lori, I'm not for standing up. I keep telling people, no, not time. Brother Jonathan, I appreciate him to death, standing up in France, in America, not the time. It's not the time. These people will cheer you being eviscerated in public. They will cheer you being tarred, feathered, and shoved into a hole in a cage. They will fight for the immigrants to get the immigrants out of the cage. They will not fight for their neighbor, and they will hope that you get locked under the cage. No, not in America. In America, it is time for people to wake the hell up. It's time for people to talk. It's time for people to read, do their research, and walk away from the system. This system is ready, willing, and waiting to take anybody on who wants to stand up to it. They understand violence, and they don't give two damns. They finally got a police force that is trained, that will tackle children, little girls, and don't care. They will tase the hell out of you and beat you to a pulp. And that's what they need. That's how a police state works. And it's not the police's fault. That's why I don't blame the police. They made the public hate the police. And now the public hates the police. Guess what? The police starting to hate the public. That's just how it works. That's how it works. People are played all the time. And you gotta be smarter than that. All right, let me see. Boom. Thanks, G. When I get my YouTube now, going at least part of the time, I'll be helping to cast ties to connect those who are interested in seeing reality to a wider audience. Thank you, citizens. Everybody's got a part to play. Everybody's got a part. Just do your part, whatever that is, go do it. Don't judge anybody else for the part they do. As long as you're attacking the thing that is actually the problem and not what's on TV, good to go. Go do that. Nothing lasts forever. When we hang on to something, too tight, life becomes stagnant. Absolutely, Rebecca. Got to keep moving and shaking, moving forward. Mystery talking about, yep, Jim Morrison, Hendrix, Marley, yep, they even took them all out. Oh, sorry, Gerard, I thought you said that. Nope, no, I am not that evolved. Nope, I'm not back then. Oh, no. No, I'm still alive. Nope, my bank account is intact. No, they split up at the wrong time. You do not stand up against capitalism, and most people have no idea what it is. Right now, most people still have no idea. I didn't even know what it was till, 2 months ago? 2 months ago, I finally turned me on. I was like, crony capitalism and capitalism ain't the same thing. It's the same. It's the same thing. It is now is a time for us to educate ourselves and be wrong and listen and learn and research. So when we stand up against the right thing for the right reason and with the right people. Not the wrong thing at the wrong time with the wrong people and get wrong done to us all day long. All right, that's what I got. Spread peace. That's it, Lori. That's all we can do. Spread peace, spread the love, invoke consciousness, listen to what Tesla said, try to help everybody, engage in important discourse and dialogue, have a respect for everybody's position, and try to look out for everybody. That's all we can do. We need the Tesla more and we need the us less. Vietnam War protests were the last effective ones. I agree with that, Lori, and that makes some sense. After that, they saw that coming. They made sure that war was popular, and it is. And that's why on social media, you cannot support the veterans. You can only support the veterans if you're sending them into more wars. You cannot support the veterans to try to support them and their families, or the veterans' families. All right, get out of here. All right, this is Gerard. I gotta get going. Y'all have a great day. Tesla more. You're all family. I gotta go. Love y'all to death. I'm out. Bye-bye.
Adaptation. Tesla. It is the most important. Right that Mr. Tesla played. He played the whole of his life and enjoyed it. Question. Mr. Tesla, whether it relates to your findings in your work, is this a game? Tesla. Yes, dear boy. I have so loved to play with electricity. I always cringe when I hear about the one, also the Greek who stole the fire. A terrible story about stuttering and eagles peck out his liver. That Zeus did not have enough lightning and thunder and was damaged for one fervor? There is some misunderstanding. Lightning are the most beautiful toys that can be found. Do not forget that in your text standout. Nikola Tesla was the first man who discovered lightning. Question. Mr. Tesla, you're just talking about angels and their adaptation to the earth. Tesla, am I? This is the same. You could write this. He dared to take upon himself the prerogatives of Indra, Zeus, and Perun. Imagine one of those gods in a black evening suit, with a bowler hat and wearing white cotton gloves, prepares lightning, fires, and earthquakes to the New York City elite. Question. Readers love the humor of our paper, but you confuse me stating that your findings, which have immense benefits for the people, representing the game, many will frown on it. Tesla. Dear Mr. Smith, the trouble is that people are too serious. If they were not, they would be happier and much longer would have lived. Chinese proverb says that the seriousness reduces life. Visiting the inn, Tai Pei guessed that he visits the imperial palace. But the newspaper readers would not have frowned. Let's get back to things which they consider important. Question. They would love to hear what your philosophy is. Tesla. Life is a rhythm that must be comprehended. I feel the rhythm and direct on it and pamper in it. It was very grateful and gave me the knowledge I have. Everything that lives is related to a deep and wonderful relationship. Man and the stars, amoebas and the sun, the heart and the circulation of an infinite number of worlds. These ties are unbreakable, but they can be tame and to propitiate and begin to create new and different relationships in the world, and that does not violate the old. Knowledge comes from space. Our vision is its most perfect set. We have two eyes, the earthly and spiritual. It is recommended that it become one eye. Universe is alive in all its manifestations, like a thinking animal. Stone is a thinking and sentient being, such as plant, beast, and a man. A star that shines asks to look at it, and if we are not as sizable, self-absorbed, we would understand its language and message. His breathing, his eyes and ears of the man must comply with breathing, eyes, and ears of the universe. Question. As you say this, it seems to me like I hear Buddhist text. words, or Taoist parallezusa. Tesla, well, that's right. This means that there's a general knowledge and truth that man has always possessed. In my feeling and experience, the universe has only one substance and one supreme energy, with an infinite number of manifestations of life. The best thing is that the discovery of a secret nature reveals the other. One cannot hide, they are around us, but we are blind and deaf to them. If we emotionally tie ourselves to them, they come to us themselves. There are a lot of apples, but one Newton. He asked for just one apple that fell in front of him. Question. A question that might be said at the beginning of this conversation. What was electricity for you, dear Mr. Tesla? Tesla, everything is electricity. First was the light, endless source from which points out material and distributed all forms that represent the universe and the earth with all its aspects of life. Black is the true face of light, only we do not see this. It is remarkable grace to man and other creatures. One of its particles possesses light, thermal, nuclear, radiation, chemical, mechanical, and an unidentified energy. It has the power to run the earth with its orbit. It is true Archimedean lever. Question,